Ladies and gentlemen, hello, it is Johnny TCG back with a different kind of video. I have just returned from my second pre-release tournament for OP08 this weekend, and as you can see, I've got two pre-release winner cards in front of me. That's right, we won not one, but two pre-release tournaments this weekend. Pre-release tournaments are very random and not the best indicator of skill in this game, but with all the positive comments motivating me and the helpful tips I've received from people watching my videos and correcting some of my plays, I definitely think that I was in better shape than I have been in previous tournaments. Today's video is going to be 3 parts. Part number 1 will be a general strategy and guide on the pre-release format and some tips and tricks I think you may find helpful. Part 2 will be a recap of both of my tournaments and how I went undefeated. And then part 3 will be opening 13 packs that I got as prizing for going undefeated in both tournaments. After that, if you stick around, there will be a custom leader giveaway as well for a Starter Deck 14 Monkey D. Luffy and an OP08 Charlotte Pudding. So stay till the end of the video and you can win one of those 2 custom leaders. When it comes to which leader you should use for a sealed event, I have found personally that Jewelry Bonnie is without a doubt the best in my opinion. Bonnie lets you really slow things down, develop a board, and make your opponent make uncomfortable decisions. What I mean by that is, for example, if they have one blocker on the field and they're debating on whether or not to swing into you, you can use that leader ability to rest the blocker, and if they don't have another one to play down, you will be able to go straight into life, which they obviously don't want. Another interesting thing about Bonnie is that they're always going to be getting less swings than they would want because you're always going to be resting one of their characters. You're probably going to be going up against a lot of Jewelry Bonnies, so you need to keep that leader ability in mind every single time you are swinging into them. You don't want to be caught sleeping, caught lacking, and have your blocker or your big body rested because you swung with a smaller body or swung at a moment where you're not supposed to or where it was risky to. So please, please, please think through your turns and make sure you are sequencing everything exactly to the best of your ability. Against the Bonnie, sequencing is going to be crucial. One mistake and you can lose the game pretty much. You've probably heard these 2 other tips before, but number 1, be sure to take every single 2K you get out of your packs. 2Ks are so valuable in the pre-release format. A lot of people don't have many, so swinging for 6 is a lot better than it usually is, and you're going to want to keep those and use them wisely. Another tip, don't be afraid to play vanillas in your deck. In most constructed decks aren't really utilized much because they don't bring you any additional value, but in the pre-release format where on-play effects and activate main effects may not synergize well with your deck, vanillas give you the best bang for your buck when it comes to cost to power ratio. So I would definitely take advantage of when you can play a vanilla character. Now let's take a look at my tournament experience. We'll go over the first 4-round tournament first. This is the one that I went 4-0 at and got 10 extra booster packs as prize for coming in first place. Now for the first tournament, there was one singular card that I can credit to 3 out of my 4 victories, and that is the 9-drop Kaido. 9 cost, 9,000 power. What this card does is activate main. If you played this card this turn, you may trash a card from your hand, then put one of your opponent's 7 cost or less characters in the trash, and then your opponent trashes a card as well. That is huge. This turned the tide in multiple games for me. My opponent played out a 7-drop vanilla like Basil Hawkins or Charlotte Smoothie, which normally would be a huge issue to deal with, but with this I was able to immediately put it in the trash and completely change the tempo. After this was put on the field, most of my opponents were just like, ah, crap. there's nothing really I can do to come back from this. If you've played in multiple pre-releases before, you may know that it doesn't matter if you really pull one really good card, because the pre-release format is so random that you may never even see it. So to be able to see it in 3 to 4 games was divine luck. The next card I want to highlight is the 7 cost 8,000 power King. On play, Don -1. If your opponent has 5 or more Don on the field, this character gains Rush. There are not a lot of cards that have Rush in this set, so having one that is 8,000 power, it can be used late game, is really good, and it helped me clear the board in 2 different important situations. This next one isn't necessarily a strategy I would recommend, but it did help me win the final round, and that is the 5 cost 6,000 power Portgas the Ace. Now on play, you get to flip the top card of your deck, and if that is a 4 cost or lower Whitebeard Pirates, you can play it out. I was in a moment where I took a leap of faith and I got very lucky, and even though I only had like 4 Whitebeard Pirates cards in my deck, I did hit the speed chill, which was crazy. My opponent couldn't believe it, and I was really able to put more pressure on my opponent. And in the Bonnie mirror match, you know that it really comes down to the amount of swings on board, and so getting an extra character for free, that's amazing value. The next card I think you should play in your deck that I know you will have is the pre-release Marco that they give everyone for participation. A 4th cost 6,000 character is solid. Can play this on your 5 Don turn and leave a Don up for your leader ability. Its on KO effect doesn't seem amazing because it doesn't have any counter, so getting it back to your hand isn't the biggest deal. But if you have a card, Drop Kaido, that requires you to trash a card, it's the perfect card to trash because you're not getting rid of any counter. At my second tournament of the weekend, I went 3-0, and a big part of the reason why was this card right here, 9-drop Big Mom. On play, Don -1, you may trash 1 card from your hand. Then you get to put 1 card from the top of your deck onto the top of your life, and then put one of your opponent's characters of 6 or less to the top or bottom of their life face up. Now that is why Marco is also a great card, because when you bring it back to your life on KO, it's a perfect target to trash with Big Mom's effect. A strategy that I employed that I think you should employ as well is using what we call the chicken combo, the Baron Tamago, the Viscount Hiyoko, and the Count Niwatori. All of these have on KO effects that allows you to summon the next version of it, and some of them require you to summon it from hand. Others you can summon it from the deck, which is pretty crazy. But if you're able to get one of these on board and you're able to combo it at all, it's going to be a problem for your opponent to deal with it. They won't want to swing into it anyway because they don't want to risk you having the combo. And even if they are risky and do, if you're able to pull off one of the combos, you just got great value. The Baron Tamago is a blocker, and so they don't even have a choice sometimes whether or not you are able to use the Baron Tamago's effect, which is great. I would definitely recommend putting any of these cards you find in your deck. Even if you just have 1 or 2 of each, I would still recommend putting it in. One card that I thought was going to be amazing and didn't get any use was Silver's Rayleigh. It is a great card, but I literally did not see it in any of my 4 games. That just goes to show that the pre-release format is so random, and you might get great pulls. If you just don't see them, though, they're worthless. I'll get to the pack opening in just a second, but first I wanted to highlight the 2 winner cards. These are so nice. The holo on them is awesome. It really feels surreal. I know it's just a pre-release to win 2 in 1 weekend. Thank you to all the comments that either motivate me or critique me and my gameplay to help me become a better player. I really appreciate them all so much. I hope hearing some of these tips and my strategies were helpful in some way. Don't forget to stay tuned to after the pack opening, where I'll be giving away a custom Monkey D. Luffy starter deck 14 leader and a custom Charlotte Pudding OP08 leader. You've heard enough of me yap. Let's get to the packs. Now let's get into our winnings. I have 12 booster packs to open and 1 pre-release pack to open as well. We'll start out with the pre-release pack. This contains 2 cards. No super rares or secret rares in these, are alt arts, just uncommons and commons. They come with a special little stamp. Our first one is Charlotte Poirier, and our second one is Consulate. Consulate doesn't actually seem too bad. In a Minx deck, when attacking, up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 4 or less do not become active in your opponent's refresh phase. There's a lot of cards from this set that we're looking to pull. I would really like a playset of Black Marias, of Jack, of Kaido, of Charlotte Linlin, and Kaido. Rayleigh's as well. I mean, I want all the good cards. What can I say? Starting off our first pack, nothing too crazy yet. We've got the Edward Weevil. We've got the It to Die For. What is she looking at? We've got the Kingdu. Sasaki's our rare. And then we get the S-Snake. Now, I am pretty satisfied with this pull. S-Snake is a really good card. 5 cost, 6,000 power. It's like a mini Boa Hancock from OP07. On play, up to one of your opponent's characters other than Monkey D. Luffy, with a cost of 6 or less, cannot attack during your opponent's next turn. This is a great card, gonna be played in a couple different yellow decks. Definitely pretty satisfied with our first pack of the day. Let me know in the comments which cards you are looking to pull in this set. I know in the past card supply has been a little scarce, but it seems like OP08 might be a little bit more available than past sets, which is really exciting. We're starting off with an S-Bear, Moby Dick, Speedjill, I always stumble over this word. Count Niwatori, Candy Maiden, Namule, Charlotte Oven. Ooh, I think I see some shiny behind that. Fingers crossed it's something good. Robson, Wapple, and then we get the Dr. Correja alt art. Let's go. I'm probably not going to play any decks that run Dr. Correja, but hey, it's a dope artwork. I'll take it. The foiling on this is really nice. It's got a nice shine to it, but here's to hoping we pull another alt art. I do not want that to be my only alt of the day. The good news, at least though, is that these are all winner packs. I didn't pay anything for them, so anything I really pull is just a bonus. No alt leader for this pack. RIP. We're going to start with a couple commons, nothing too crazy. The Kalgara will be nice if I build a Kalgara deck. Kuramarimo, I always have trouble pronouncing his name. Charlotte Smoothly, she put in work in the pre-release. If you know, you know. That Jinbei artwork is so cursed. You cannot tell me otherwise. Our rare is Mont Black. And then we get the Kaido and Linlin. Let's go! I am super excited about this card. I know the artwork is kind of ugly, but in person, it just looks sick. The texturing on it is awesome. I definitely am going to run this as a 1 of, or maybe even a 2 of if I'm crazy, in Starter Deck 4 Kaido and OP08 King. I can't believe our luck so far. Back-to-back hits. Let's go. On the topic of OP08 King, what do you all think about that leader? Personally, I've played him and he's a little hit or miss for me. Sometimes I feel like just regular purple Kaido is more consistent. But when you get to the late game and can use his leader ability basically every turn for no cost, it does feel really good. Like any purple deck though, no stage, you're going to have a bad time. Our first rare is Cloven Rose, and then we get the Jozu. Not the best pack. At least Jozu is a card I want to have a playset of. I could run him in Boa. I could run him in OP08 Marco. So, happy to have him. We had a couple people run OP08 Marco at the pre-release event. I played against one of them. It was pretty interesting and also intimidating because they are able to cycle a card from hand every turn. But overall, I think in a sealed format, Bonnie is still the GOAT. Looking at our next pack, we get the Electrical Luna. That is an awesome card. It will be great in Bonnie or a Minx deck. Then we get another Jozu. That's actually not too bad of a pack. I definitely want to get a playset of Electrical Luna. I'm thinking about making a Carrot deck list and doing a video on it. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, or if I shouldn't even bother and I should just throw that deck list in the trash. We're struggling to open this pack. Don't tell all the PSA and Beckett bros. Don't let them see that clip. They might cringe a little bit. Starting out, we do have 20 Doctors. That is a funny card. We've got Mont Blanc. We've got a bunch of guys. I'm moving too fast to even read. That's all right, though. We get the Marco Leader. We get the King Rare, which is nice. And then we get the Portgas D Ace Rare, which is nice as well. Not a crazy expensive pack or anything, but I'll always take 2 rares of characters that I love, so I'm cool with it. We've got 6 packs left. We've gone through these pretty fast. Overall, so far, not terrible, but I wouldn't mind another hit or two. On to our next pack. I am going to manifest the Manga Rayleigh. It is destined to happen, and it is destined to happen to me. Starting out with our commons and uncommons, you know how it goes. Charlotte Katakuri, that's a cute art. We've got another Cloven Rose and a Mont Blanc Noland. That is about as mid of a pack you could possibly get. But no matter, we continue on in our search for the Manga Rayleigh. Or to be honest at this point, I'll just be excited for a super rare. It has been a minute since we've last pulled one of those. I do see some shine at the back, which is interesting. Hopefully it's not just an event. We got another Cursed Jinbei, we got the Jozu, and then we got the Imperial Flame. Another Jozu is nice, but I'm not sure if Imperial Flame will be ran in any of the decks I plan on playing. No worries though, we continue on. How many times am I going to say that? Send me your good luck in the comments down below, even though you are watching this in the future. Starting out, our commons, our uncommons, 20 Doctors. I'm going to need 20 Doctors if we do not get any more good pulls this video. We got the S-Hawk solid, and then we got the 6-drop Katakuri, which I will need for my pudding build, so that is decent. Third to last pack. Hold your breath. I think I can smell an alt art in here. This one is looking thick, looking sturdy, and I do see some shine, I think. Let me know in the comments though what OP08 leader you are most excited for. Me, it's definitely King and Pudding. Marco is interesting, but so far I haven't had much luck with it. We got the Steven Universe looking character again. We see the Dr. Correja as a rare, and then we get the Tony Chopper super rare. Not an amazing pull. I don't even think I'll be playing a deck that uses that. But hey, it's a super rare. It's better than nothing. These were winning packs, so I should be grateful. I'm going to drop down and give you 25 push-ups for me being ungrateful right now. On to our second to last pack. So far, we're searching through the mid. We get the Wiper and we get the Page 1. That was not a good pack. That Page 1 is really interesting with the ulti combo it can do. But yeah, let's hope for better packs in our booster boxes. We've got 1 pack left for today. Let me know in the comments if you'd want me to do a booster box opening. Taking a look at our first pack, it is looking pretty thick. I saw some shine. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting out a lot of purple and yellow. We get the green event. We got a black event. I'm feeling good about this pack. Atmos, Robson, Jozu, and then Jack. Let's go. I do not have a Jack yet. I'm going to want to play set. Last pack, Magic, baby. This card is going to be so good in OP08. You'll probably hate it in OP08 if you don't play a deck that uses it. Here's a snapshot of all our loot, the result of 12 OP08 booster packs. We ended up with a bunch of rares, 3 super rares, 1 secret rare, and 1 alt art. The Jack and Kaido and Linlin are probably what I'm most excited about. The Tony Chopper super rare is nothing crazy. The Kureha alt art is great. I just won't see much use of it. And then the Kaido and Linlin secret rare, that artwork is amazing. I have been turned to the dark side. I love this card. It's such a fun card to play out too in my testing. If you get it to work, it can be really fun. Overall, let me know what you guys think about the polls. Were they great? Were they mid? I'm interested to hear your opinion. I want to reward those who have watched this entire video, so I'm going to do a giveaway with 2 custom leaders. Just put in the comments which one you want. Leave a like and a comment stating which one you want, and I'll choose 1 comment for each leader and send them out to some US commenters. I made these using artwork from the Treasure Cruise game. It's not my own artwork. I'm not selling these. This is just a fun little project. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I love you all. Good night.